Devil May Cry. So Devil May Cry is a game series that consists of 7 games, whereas you play as the main character Dante every time, I think. Now, after doing some research, I found out that Devil May Cry actually has an anime series from back in 2007, but they recently just came out with a reboot. Now, after doing all this research, you would think I would go and play the game or watch the anime, right? Fuck no. But I got a homeboy who has played the games and watched the anime, so he kinda gave me the rundown of everything. And I'm happy about that because nigga like me wasn't finna watch all them shows and play all them games.
Man, shut the fuck up.
Alright, let's meet our main character. Standing at a whopping 6'2", 180 pounds. They've been calling him the new Gojo. Dante, no last name, because apparently this nigga don't got a full name in the games or the show. Not like you just saw, Dante was minding his business, getting a milkshake from this diner. Now that's when all of a sudden somebody just throws an entire gas truck at this nigga while he's in the diner. So Dante taps into the speed force and proceeds to save everybody in this entire diner. This nigga watched X-Men Apocalypse one time. So when Dante turns around to see who did it, he ends up seeing his twin brother that supposedly died in a fire a long time ago. But you see, Dante not that stupid. Dante know his brother did. And Dante just happened to be right because it was this slimy ass shapeshifter the whole time. But hold on, peep game real quick. Alright, now look, one thing that I will give Dante is this nigga always doing some smooth ass shit. Oh yeah, another thing, Dante never runs out of ammo for some reason. Like, look, watch this right here. That one attack right there was like 4 magazines. Keeping it a buck, I ain't no gun expert, but I'm like 92% sure these are pistols. Now, this fight does last a little bit, but in the end, Dante does just fuck him up, breaks free of his hold, then hits him with a crazy left hook. Left hook so nasty, it turned this nigga into tomato paste. So he said, hold on, time out, nigga, I'm gone. Skipping past that, this is our boy Enzo right here. Now, he is actually Dante's friend, kind of, but I'm not gonna lie, this nigga was ratting his ass off. Oh yeah, also there's this guy in a white rabbit mask. He's the main villain. Rabbit is also trying to open up a portal to hell to bring hell to earth. That's not what we here for though, we here for the scraps. This dude is the vice president, and here he has a bunch of mercenaries and bum ass niggas gathered to try and get Dante's necklace. Now, once they show a picture of Dante, none of these niggas is taking him serious. But in the back, there's this one dude that's talking about Dante like he's King Von or something.
Bro, he was dead, bro. If he wanted you out of there, he'd go do it himself on feet by himself.
Dude, something's wrong with him. That's not human, man. You're not regular, man.
That I actually prayed. Let us get break.
And this story didn't deter nobody, bro. Now, if y'all have been subscribed to me for a little bit, then y'all know every time we see a bad bitch, we gotta announce it. This is Lady, or Mary, or Miss Arkham. I don't know. She got like 8 names. Now, since Dante's homeboy was in custody, they literally forced this man to go to Dante's apartment and lure him out so that he can send all the mercenaries and shit to his crib. But we already know how this all went, man. Just a pure embarrassment, bro. Nobody even landed a finger on him. Oh yeah, except that guy. But like, that don't really count because Dante literally heals as soon as it happens. That's when I knew this nigga was different. So when old boy tries to run away, Dante throws him into a Street Fighter machine. That's where Lady comes into the mix because she proceeds to jump from one rooftop to the other building through the window. And look at Dante. Dante don't know what to think. He don't know what's going on. Now, since Dante is just so in love with this woman he just met, she ends up taking the amulet from him because he wasn't paying attention. So Dante chases her across a couple of rooftops, and when they finally get face to face, they just start having a normal ass conversation like they've known each other since childhood. And then she proceeds to rip this grown man's shirt off because she thinks that he's a devil. Dante, man, you are such a better man than me, bro. Let her rip my shirt off. That's not the only thing coming off, bro. Now, Dante stupidly gets caught in the trap that she set up for him because this is apparently a fucking idiot. Now, later on, once he wakes up, he is immediately trying to get out of this truck. Like, he is not trying to be there, like anybody else would. But apparently, they drove right into a trap because a bunch of detonations go off on this building, letting a bunch of debris fall down and shit. Then a bunch of demons pop up. It's, what's the name?
Damn. Hell,
shit, Poison Ivy. Look, peep game, lady is already on bullshit because she don't never run out of ammo either. She is a regular ass human fighting big ass demons. But meanwhile, while all this stuff is going on, Mr. Rabbit Man just goes and gets the other piece of the amulet and forms them together, which is what the humans thought he needed to open up the portal, but he does still need a piece. So once he gets done doing that, he just slimes out the doctor, stabs him right through the chest with a big ass sword. But wait, the sword isn't what killed him, because he survives the stab, throws a grenade at the rabbit, and the rabbit hits it right back in his face and shuts the door. And look, he did it with a smile on his face. This is diabolical. Now once Dante finally gets free, the first thing he does is go right after the white rabbit. But you see, the rabbit is the lowest of the low ass niggas, bro. He already knows Dante is gonna play the hero, so he aims the RPG at his school bus and blasts that bitch. So Dante activates the speed force once more and beats the rocket to the spot and tanks the hit. And he's very so obviously pissed off right now, so he grabs a motorcycle and he starts chasing him. Now here's where the problem comes in, because back when he got captured, lady put a sedative in his neck that also had some sort of micro bomb. Once Dante leaves within 1 mile of her, then that is going kaboom. Now while Dante is hawking him down, Mary is literally staring at the tracker, watching him go out of the zone, and she already know that this nigga's finna explode. Now once Dante catches up to him, he literally has the blick in his face, but and just look at this nigga, bro. Jesus Christ. And the crazy part is that this nigga was still alive. He felt all that. Man, if I was Dante, Mary would have had me fucked up. The second that I got up from that, I promise you she would be unrecognizable. So they captured Dante in Enzo and a bunch of other rams I don't really care about, and they put him on a plane. Now to keep it quick and simple, Dante slimes out one of his captors, but that's perfectly fine because he was Australian. Now Mary and her team tracked the white rabbit and the amulet, and that's something they should not have did, because once they get in the building, they all just start talking and conversing like everything is normal. But when they start walking, all of the walls behind them just close shut. Remember when I said that they shouldn't have come here? That's what I meant, because every single one of Mary's teammates, especially all 4 of her closest comrades, they all just get slimed out. And Mary really couldn't do nothing, so she just had to watch all this shit happen. Now, let's go check in on our favorite pretty boy, Dante. Dante figured out how to use his devil trigger, and he proceeds to use the devil trigger to save everybody falling out of the plane. Now, once he does that, he also gets ran up on by dude's brother, and this is just a cat fight for like a cool little, 2-3 minutes? That's when Dante gets tired of his shit, so he just says, alright, and then he kicks him through 6 stories of the building. And then once he flies down, Dante just starts pressing him.
You are a worthless, bitch ass nigga. Your life literally is as valuable as a summer ant. I'm just gonna stump you. You're gonna keep coming back. I'm gonna seal up all my cracks. You're gonna keep coming back. Why? Because you keep smelling the syrup, you worthless bitch ass nigga.
But this is a grown ass man. He not finna take all that. So he start fighting Dante again, and unfortunately Dante's devil trigger runs out for some reason. I have no idea how his devil trigger works. I don't know if they explain it differently in the games or something, but all I know is that his devil trigger is crazy inconsistent. Now thankfully Dante gets bailed out by Lady, who just blows this nigga shit off, and these two can actually have a civil conversation without one trying to kill the other. Now Rabbit sends them a message that he wants Dante to come to this specific location. Now Mary not going for that because she already know that Rabbit got something nefarious planned. Now since Dante is trying to go anyway, she just says, alright, and then she caps him in his leg, throws him in the back of a van so he can't go anywhere as of right now, and then she goes herself. This is what I meant by Dante's devil trigger and his powers are mad inconsistent in this show, because earlier we just saw Dante get blasted in the chest with a shotgun and it healed almost instantly. None of this really matters though, because once Lady goes to fight Rabbit, she ends up losing and Dante has to come save her anyway. Now Dante ends up fighting this guy. I'm not sure what his name is, but he was low-key fucking shit up in the show. Now him and Dante are clashing swords, and Dante is forcing him through the portal halfway, kicks the portal remote, and makes the portal close on his head. Ooh, Dante, not gonna lie, that was kinda clean, Yeah! Now, since Rabbit technically isn't that strong, he ends up just getting one-shotted by Dante, and then he ends up doing the most cliche villain thing ever. When he's hanging off the side of the building, he lets himself go or cuts himself off. And then no, he escapes at the bottom of the river. Bro, we already seen this shit before, man. And then surprise, surprise, he ends up coming back much stronger than he was the last time. Like, bro, come on. Now here we get to actually see Dante and Mary team up for the first official time. And keeping it a buck, they was getting their asses beat. Like really, really bad. The ass beating got so bad that Enzo decided that he had wanted to do something about this. And mind you, Enzo is a regular ass dude. So y'all can already imagine what happened to Enzo. Yup, stabbed right through the chest trying to protect his homeboy. And Dante will not stand for this. Or actually, he kind of will, because Dante really doesn't even do anything after he screams like, no! Yeah, you know, like, he still got his ass beat anyway. Got his ass launched through 4 different buildings. But you know, Dante gonna get that get back eventually. Now, Rabbit does get the amulet eventually, and he does combine it with the Sword of Sparta, which is everything he needs to open up the portal. Or, he actually needs some of Dante's blood, but, that's not much of a problem, is it? Because Dante just stands there while Rabbit stabs him with this big-ass sword, because, yeah, that's just so intelligent, right, Dante? Look at this nigga talking crazy shit, too. But you see, Rabbit shouldn't even have did that. Rabbit should have just took his W and left, bro. He tripping. Because once he gets the portal open, he thinks he's won. He think ain't nobody gonna stop him. But he forgot about the most powerful being ever. It's that plot armor, bro. Should have been watching out for it. Because Mary takes an anti-demon bullet and shoots it right at Rabbit's life support. And then Dante does some shit I have never ever seen before, bro. Dante stands up, proceeds to take the 8-foot blade out of his chest, uses his devil trigger, and then proceeds to split this man in 2. Now, I'm not entirely sure if this was just thrown in an anime or something. I don't know if he did it in the game, but what I do know is that this video is over. Boyfriends and girlfriends, I'm actually very excited today because our last video just got like 15K views, I think, by the time I'm recording this. And hey, all I gotta say is thank you. Those of you who subscribed, there's a lot of more content coming on the way, so, you know, just be on the lookout for that, man. All right, guys, I love you. Bye-bye. Mwah.
All the time, all the time, I mean, you all of mine. Lips up, toes down. When she jogged me, cause she knocked me, and we got a treat, so here we go round. Gotta know, I ate it, she's so sweet. Now, man, baby, I want that all the time, I mean, you all of mine. Lips up.